Oh, say good morning, but it's still dark. It is the morning. It's almost 5 o'clock. The thunderstorms that they've been predicting have finally arrived. Just had a big roll of thunder, and a bit of rain has come with it. I think it's going to be a really, I think it's going to be a really short but sharp, like, rain shower. I made sure everything is tucked away inside that needs to be, and it is. You can probably see my bag up there. I've got my pump bag on top of it, acting as a rain shelter. This should be pretty short-lived. It shouldn't go on for too long. But yeah, there's definitely been some activity outside as well. I've been woken up once or twice just by a bit of human activity. But yeah, it's I don't know if that comes across in the sound at all. I am officially in a thunderstorm in an emergency bivvy. That's a first for me, at least. So I've got to make sure this thing is closed up at the front so the rain doesn't all get in. And then try to get back to sleep for a little bit more, shall I? It's far too early to be getting up. Oh. I have no idea where it comes across, but yeah, that's starting to really rain now. I'd go out and get you some footage, but I'm not. I'm staying here and staying dry. That's the whole point of having a bivvy, so I can stay in here and stay dry. Oh dear. Pretty good night's sleep overall. Took a little while to get to sleep, to be fair. I think that's just because I was a little bit wide from yesterday and from just all the stuff that had gone on. But once I got to sleep, I slept like a log for a long part of the night. There we go. I assume it's coming across on the audio. I don't see how it couldn't be. That is loud. That is a lot of thunder. It's been a long time since I've seen a proper thunderstorm. Been promised a few over in the area where I live, but never really sort of actually came to fruition. Never really got any of the thunder. Yeah, that's really raining now. I'm guessing you can hear that on the bivvy. It's really coming down out there, and it's now saturated the canopy, and the canopy's just letting right go at this. Oh, can you tell I'm sleepy? Yeah, I've got a few bits and pieces outside, like I've got my saucepans hanging up in the trees, the water bottles outside, but I mean they're sort of things that doesn't matter if they get wet, so there was no point worrying about protecting them. I guess my sit mats are out there. But again, it's not the end of the world if they get a bit wet. I can just dry them off. I've got my pack towel for that very eventuality. Use that to dry those off, and they'll be dry as I need them to kneel or sit on. Oh, when it hits right near my ear. Oh, that's loud. I wonder if there'll be any more thunder. The rain's finally stopped, but it's still dripping off the trees a little bit. It was very, very short, although I'm going to be honest, I slept through a lot of that. I pressed the button on the camera to finish recording, and I'm pretty sure in about 1 minute I was back to sleep because I don't remember anything else. I was just woken up again, and yeah, it's a lot brighter out there. I can't hear any rain. I can just hear the drips very slowly come off the trees, so even that's slowing down. I'm not really going to make a move until that's completely finished, I think. Yeah. I had a dog walker. I don't know if he heard or saw me. Got my light on. More fun than that as well. I'm not entirely sure how much the light goes through the bivvy, so I could be lighting myself up here, but I assume because it's illuminated on the inside, it's just bouncing around inside, and it's only the opening that could be that visible, but I could be wrong. It could be a little bit visible when it's lit up, so I'm going to get my light off so I don't get spotted too early. Well, I'm all packed up. That's literally all I've done this morning, just pack up. As you can see, I've left it mostly how I found it. I'm not going to bother putting all the leaves back. I don't see any reason to do that. And I have left those sticks that I brought with me and carried all that way for nothing. But they're not going to be useful at least until the end of today, because I'm not going to need sticks that big for a breakfast burn. So I guess I could have split them up a bit further and used them, but I don't want to carry the weight. Everything's feeling really lightweight at the moment, even though I've got the bag here as yesterday. The old pump bag is filled with the sleep gear, or sleep system I should say, and I'll try and dry that out later when I get a bit more of a chance. It's still quite damp and I'm not going to be able to do that in here, so I need to get shifting, find a place where I can have a stop for the morning, have my breakfast and get these things dry and get geared up, like packed away and all squared up properly. But for now I'm just going to start plodding on, get a few miles under the belt and yeah, see how it goes. This way. Yeah, the pack is certainly a lot lighter. I mean, obviously it's not got this in it either, so that makes a difference too. But my feet feel even better. I'm sure they're healing up. I haven't taped them or done anything. I'm just wearing both pairs of socks. Unfortunately, some of which were a little bit damp. I had them in the bivvy with me, but in hindsight, I should have had them in a bag so they didn't get dry, but so they didn't get damp. But I kind of had a bit of a misstep there. Really, I wasn't really thinking, but they'll dry off pretty quick as I walk, though. To be honest, it's not the best spot in the world, but the roads are really busy right now and I've got no pathway, so I figure take the opportunity to have a little break here. It's not the most obviously good spot, but if I step back a little bit, you can see how I've got a fence to hang everything on, and I'm in the open where the winds can basically dry everything. It might get drier by the end of the day, but also it might not. So it's a bit of a deal or no deal, but this is it. I'm making the deal now. I'm going to stop. I'm going to make sure I tape up my feet just like I did yesterday, because they seem to have healed up really well. They feel really good. I won't be able to do a hot chucky. It'll have to be a cold one, but it'll get the protein into me, fuel me for the day. That's all it really needs to do. Those look like alpacas. Oh, no, actually they're too big. I think they might be llamas. If you know better, tell me in the comments. I've just caught my top on the barbed wire that have wrapped around a post. Surely you shouldn't be having barbed wire wrapped around a post at a gate. I can honestly say that last half a kilometre was probably the longest half kilometre of my life. Just the sheer amount of mud, like flooded pathways, and then this is the hopefully final obstacle. It better be the final obstacle.
I'm sure there'll be more to come.
Shall I do this with you guys? Oh my, look at that, would you? These are not fixed in any way. Oh dear, this could end so badly. Oh, that is not cool. Get to this midpoint. Oh. I mean, at least they did something, I suppose, but wow. You've got to keep your balance. And back into the mud. Wow. That is makeshift. That is properly bodged together. Right. I must be getting close to the end of this now. I've had to cut some bushes and hedges out of the way, because the only way through is basically where they've grown over. This is far from ideal. Oh, I keep thinking it must be over. I must have gone far enough. And then it just keeps throwing it at me like this. Oh man. Right, what's the way? I see I have to keep doing this, I have to keep stopping and figuring out what's the way through. So up the middle, of course, I think go left and then over that one. Yeah. Right, this is again a bit, oh, see, I've got to tight rope this thing and it's a slippery bloody bit of wood. Oh no. Whoa. That's spawny, that's got me. Right. Oh, these people with the muddy pathways. Well, I say people. Oh no. Oh, my foot went right in there. I've actually managed to put a hole in this shoe from a bit of wood at the start of the journey. I don't know if it went through the Gore-Tex, but I mean, it wasn't good. So if I get my foot soaked, I'm more than likely going to notice that. And I'll be honest, these don't have a great deal of depth to them either. Well, this looked like the best way, but I'm going to be honest, there's still not a lot of option here. Oh, see, I'm basically in the brambles now. And it's a fight of trying to balance between getting far enough in the brambles to get off the mud and not get into the puddles, but not so far to get shredded.
Hawthorns and deep mud. You shouldn't have. Ugh.
Here we go again. What's my way through here? The middle. Oh wow, I've got to swing around a tree again. Yeah, this isn't the first time I've done this either. Oh wow, that is bad. I've got to get over there. Whoa, who's even been walking on this? I mean, somebody has, because they wouldn't have bothered with all the... Oh, that's horrific. Oh my lord. I guess this is what Tim was telling me about. Oh, that moves. Oh, can I stand on that one? At least I've got a tree to hold on to. But this one moves. And I've got to get to the right end of this to step over there. Oh, I'm going to do it like this. Oi! Oh, that was close. Oh my lord. Oh, that was... This is just stupid. I'm guessing this is why Tim had to postpone the last part of his Thames Path trip. It's for this sort of nonsense. I mean, if this was any worse, if this was like a half-inch deeper in places, I'm not getting through. As it stands, I'm having to basically walk on all these slippery, like this log's slippery and moving. Oh, I can probably step there. Yep, and there. Oh, I didn't need to log the whole way. God. Oh, I really hope that's the last of that nonsense. That is bad. Oh, I mean, fair play to whoever got all the logs down and made that even doable. If you're out there, shout out to you. But I mean, whew. I've left the planned route, which was Tim's Path, for quite a while, in hopes to hunt down a more urban and more sheltered campsite. The forecast says there's a reasonable shot of me getting some level of rain this evening, but quite a high chance of some heavy rain in the morning. Now this is better than dealing with the mud. Haha! Fantastic. Random art. That's beautiful. I assume that's some kind of otter. That's a weird but lovely little find. I wonder what that's doing there. Just been enjoying a lovely break at that bench, and I noticed this lovely fine bit of artwork here as well. So I've got a feeling that one I saw before, the otter, that's just a little bit of volunteer artwork. It's little bits of art like that just a nice little surprise on a trip like this. It's not some like nationally recognised piece of art or anything like that. Someone just wanted to put that there, make it a little bit special, and put a smile on other people's faces. That's a really nice thing to have done. It's alright. I'm just going by. That young'un. Oh man, right. This is a massive problem. I wish I hadn't come this way now. So I've basically headed along this footpath. As you can see on the map, it's a long way back to where I can legitimately get onto another footpath. And as I arrive here, I'm definitely on the footpath, and it leads down there and across this. So either I'm swimming across, or I need to go back all that way, or I just force my way through and get onto the farmer's tracks. I'm going to be honest, I might just force my way through. Time to check the map. I'm just going to make my way up here, and it should get me to what looks like a road on the map. So it's a very short little bit of off-piste. There is a farmer up there moving around, but I think that he isn't going to be too bothered. Who doesn't understand that? You've just walked Lord knows how far before getting to basically a cut-off bit of footpath. You just want to get back to the road and not walk all that way. I mean, that'd be horrific. One more gate to climb. Oh, and we're out. Sweet. So I've checked the map because I just don't like the idea of having to travel so far north off the planned route. Originally I thought that would be okay because I could just travel west for quite a while, but having looked at it, the routes directly west from there aren't the best. So I had a look to see what else is west of here. It's not as far to the west as the town that I was aiming at, but I found a little, I suppose, a big village or a little town, I'm not sure what it is yet. A place called Bampton, and that looks really interesting. They've got some pubs and stuff there where I should be able to get some water, and just down a little bit outside of the centre is a recreation ground or rec, and they have a skate park, and I've had a little look at it on Google Maps to see what it looks like, and they have the kind that are on like concrete pillars, and it's all open underneath. And I think if I'm lucky, I should be able to camp out underneath one of those and have cover from the rain. Now it is midweek, so I don't expect any kids to be turning up in the morning to have a crack at them too early or anything like that. But as long as I'm up 6, 7 o'clock in the morning like I have been, I imagine I'll be out before anyone else notices. And if I wait until cover of darkness to go underneath, well, then I doubt anyone's going to be using the skate park when it's got dark. According to Google, it's about an hour or so's walk. I might take a bit longer than that because I'm not going to be shifting too fast. I'm going to be going nice and slow and rest my feet up a bit, because if I get there by 7:30, 8 o'clock even, that's still a lot of hanging around time. But that said, as there's hanging around time, if no one's about and I feel like I could get away with a fire, I might do that. But I could also potentially go into the woodlands nearby, into the trees, and get my cooking out of the way before darkness falls and I'm forced under there and to get to sleep. So in a nutshell, that's the plan. Head straight to Bampton, get some water, and then head to that wreck. I'll see you there. This is it, guys. I'm just by the wreck. It's over there. There's some lads playing on the skate park right now, but I've had a look at it from a distance. I will be able to get underneath. Hopefully the ground underneath is flat enough to put my bivvy down on and my mat. I won't know for sure until I can get a closer look, but obviously I can't do that when people are using it it'd be totally obvious what I'm doing. So I'm going to wait for them to disappear before I do that. There's a footpath just here behind us, but it doesn't really go anywhere. It just goes to football/basketball court, and I don't think anyone's been using that this evening, so I don't expect to see anybody use that. But just in case, I'm going to keep the burn time down to minimum and have a salmon curry, which only takes about 15 minutes. And that means you'll get to see it, because you didn't get to see it last night, but tonight you will. So that's the plan. You can see I've got my bag already hanging on the tree. The tree will be with a backrest as usual. I'm going to get the sit mats down, find some firewood, and we're going to get cracking. Right, it's building up. I don't need to wait for it to get completely built. I could, and then it would make less black stuff on the bottom of my pan, but to be fair, I just want to get cooking. So, just putting that on there and adding some water. So that's just a lot of spices, which, to be fair, if you're interested in, I have gone over a few times in some of my videos, but I shall let you know if you put in the comments that you want to know what the spices are and what all the flavours are. Put all that in. It's all gone in. Nice. Right. See? Lovely. And that's it. Some sun. Got to stay up the left hand. Oh. Now all I've got to do is, once that gets to the boil, try to keep it on the simmer for about 12 minutes. Jobs are good. I've reloaded the fire a couple of times, well, 3 times I think in total, just with a few logs at a time to try to keep it from getting too crazy. So as you can see at the moment, I've got it balanced quite well. It's bubbling nicely, and it's worked out quite well having the extra water in. I don't think I'd have gone quite that mad next time. I realised that I put the water in first this time. Last time I put in the stuff, all the salmon and all the ingredients first, and then got the level with all that in it. This time I did the water and sand and then put the stuff in, so by the time I'd finished it was a much higher level than I meant it to be. But I've burnt off a fair bit of it, and it's actually just made it easier to do, because instead of having to keep taking the lid on and off, I've just kept the lid off and let it boil at a good pace, like really sort of rolling boil rather than just simmer. And it's been easy just to keep stirring it every now and then like this. And yeah, it's actually starting to look almost perfect. I think by the time this wood burns out, it'll be good to go. And that is literally the last of the wood, so it's timed out perfectly. Can't believe it. I hope you guys can see me. I don't want to put my light on, because the lads over at the basketball court are still playing basketball, and they sound a bit leery. You can maybe hear them. They're doing stupid stuff and really bashing the ball hard. So, and it looks like I'll be waiting for them to leave before I can camp. Hopefully, once it's dark and they haven't got much reason to be here, they might go home. But certainly, I've cooked at the right time. If I'd left it any later, it would be dark and people could see my flames from a long way away. Yeah, the sun has already set. I think it set when I was in the middle of doing this. It was not long ago, so I've still got probably 30 minutes, maybe 40 of a bit of light. It might actually only be 30 because it's quite overcast, isn't it? So that makes a big difference. Oh, look at that, that's looking nice. Well guys, that's dinner, and it looks beautiful, but it smells even better. Well, that's pretty handy. There's a automatic light, so I've got a bit of light over here to film with for a second, and potentially you can see out there. Let's move out of that light in case whoever's driving by comes through. But yep, then there's a light under here, or over here I should say. This is just a standard light really. When that bright one goes off, it gets pretty dark out here. I've got my well, one of my lights on. Keep dogs off pitches. Fair play. So benches, fine. Let's have a little look, see what we're dealing with. Oh yeah, it's nice and flat under there. That'd be a perfect spot, but I think the other one might be better just because it's not facing the building. If someone goes in, my thoughts on it are, if someone comes in to use part of the facilities, if they come to use the escape ramps, I'm basically done anyway. But if it's somebody to come in to basically use the building for anything, they're going to park near the building, so they'll drive by this without even spotting me. And yes, that's home for tonight. Brilliant. And what's good about this one as well is the prevalent wind is coming from sort of the direction of the ramp. So yeah, I'm going to be able to get in underneath this. Anywhere to put my light? No, I'll just leave it there. All right. There we have it. I'll have my legs up that end, my head this end. Yeah, no problem. I won't keep my bag here. There's even a cone there just to kind of block the view a bit more. But if I have my bag, I won't sit there. I'll have my bag somewhere where it's not visible. So you've got to be careful. I don't have a huge amount of headroom, but yeah, this is it. This is camp for the night. Should keep me a lot drier than I have been. And yeah, it's pretty cozy already. But yeah, so it's a case of get the bivvy in, all sleep system in that as usual, and I'm good to go. Should be a really comfortable space actually. Obviously the trick will be getting up at the right time in the morning and not getting caught. But let's face it, if I get caught, what do? They move me on. They don't want somebody camping here for like a week or something, but when it's already done, it's done. I'll be moving on and walking miles away tomorrow. So yeah, I doubt anyone's going to be bothered as usual. Right, I'm going to get things sorted and I'm going to get kitted down for the night. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Well guys, not a moment too soon. I'm all in. There you go. Home sweet home for the night. So it's all ready to go. I just need to brush my teeth and jump on in. And this is where I leave you. So I'll see you for the next episode. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Have fun.